Hello. That's as far as I was able to get with it while keeping a straight face. Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. And yes, it really is Galaxy Force, the Amiga conversion of the Sega coin-op. This was released by Activision in 1990, and it does mean that I have to make a very painful admission, which is that I did have this game back in the day. No, I didn't copy it, I bought it. But in my defence, I did not buy it like very early on. I was a huge fan of the arcade coin-op. I've done a review of the arcade coin-op version, so if you haven't seen that, you may want to take a look at it if you are unbelievably bored. But yeah, I was a big fan of the arcade coin-op, and I knew that the conversion was going to be absolute shite. Okay, the mere idea of converting Galaxy Force to home computers was just ridiculous. And when you consider that of all the Sega Y-Board games, like the three sort of simplest that were being converted were Outrun, Super Hang-On, because I don't think the first Hang-On game got converted for home computers. I know there was a Sega Master System version, but I think that was it. So those two, and Enduro Racer, because they're fairly simple games. You know, it's just a racing game. And you saw how fucking shit all of those games were. So the idea of converting what was by far the most ambitious and most like in-depth game that was, you know, made available for the Sega, for you know, Sega. I'll try and say it. Sega Y-Board games for, you know, arcade coin-op, namely Galaxy Force. Why would anybody even consider doing a conversion? It is just utterly ridiculous. And anybody with any sense, who, even if they were among the greatest game programmers on the face of the earth, if they were approached by anyone to do a conversion of Galaxy Force, they would have told them where to fucking shove it. Because the idea is just fucking ludicrous. Nevertheless, there were some cunts out there who did it. I've already reviewed the Commodore 64 version, and that got the sort of review it deserved. And I've also realised I haven't finished making my point about me buying this. So yeah, I was a big fan of the arcade coin-op, and yeah, because I knew to stay, you know, well away from the fucking conversions. And then I think it was a couple of years later, because it was around 92, it may have even been 93, so like 3 years later, I saw this in a local computer shop, and it was on sale, and it was only a £5. So I thought, oh fuck it, it's bound to be a load of shit, but you know, for a £5 I'll get it. And shock horror, it didn't disappoint, insofar as it was every bit as shit as I was expecting it to be. So, well, let's push the start button anyway, so we get these far from interesting credits here. Although, music by Uncle Art. Yeah, I noticed he didn't put his actual name to the music. That's no surprise, because the music is, they are fucking unbelievably shite renditions of the coin-op original. So, right, so it gives us the keys. So we have the accelerate and decelerate control. So, okay, press fire to start. So we have to wait for the level select to load. I've had to disable drives DF1, DF2 and DF3, because otherwise this bit takes an age, because it checks all 4 drives. if you know the music to Galaxy Force, can you tell me where, anywhere in the entire soundtrack, there is a part that sounds like this? Oh, fucking... Right, okay, right, let's just get this over with. So, it's now loading the first level. So we launch, and right, so let's get the positives first, because amazingly there are positives in this. Okay, first one, there is actually sound effects and music at the same time. Fucking amazing. The fact that, you know, there's actually a game now where that's happening. Normally they just don't do it. It's either sound or music, but you don't get both. And yet here, yes you do. Fucking hell. Right, I'm still trying to find another positive, but I think I've exhausted them. I mean, graphically, it's a fucking mess. Oh yes, right, here's another positive. It actually says the right things for left and right turn. So it doesn't keep telling you left turn no matter which direction you are supposed to go. Which is jolly nice of it. Left turn. But the speech is utter shite. I mean, the graphics are fucking hideous. I'm pressing the key to go up, to speed up, and it wasn't doing anything. So anyway, we now head on to level 2, which is the fire level. And if you thought the graphics on this level were shit, check this one out. Right, so at last, the speech is fucking... speed is back one more. But look at these fucking... like oh, fucking... I don't know what you fucking call them now. The game is turning my brain into fucking shit. I mean, the things that look like, you know, large solar flares, but I mean, they just look like fuck off. Nothing at all. There is nothing in the game that looks like whatever you got there. And the amazing thing is, the graphics just continue to get worse and worse at every level. So again, you're trying to get around the corner there. So you made it out, so extra energy, which means we're now out here. So again, I mean, again, at least we are getting more sound effects as well as the music. But, I mean, fucking gameplay is just fucking nothing. And again, crashing into fucking everything. Because, oh, fuck's sake, I can't even see what's happening half the time. I think that's, yeah, so here we are at the fucking main target, which has been taken out. So, oh joy, we're on to level 3. And I've got quite a lot of fucking energy. You don't get that much energy in the arcade version. So we're on to level 3, where the graphics amazingly get even worse. And you remember what level 3 of this game looked like down the arcade? Well, there was a damn sight more there than there is here. I mean, look, it's so fucking sparse and empty. There is just an absolute sea of fuck all nothing. Just green stripes. I mean, it is just a fucking hideous mess. You cannot see a fucking thing. The gameplay is next to, well, non-existent. And you can see how much I'm doing here. During most of the level, I barely move. I just fly in a straight line. So right, we're out of there again. So right, you'll notice that things speed up quite dramatically once you leave those sort of like cavern areas. So, yeah, okay, I only just managed to get in there. But as far as, like, you know, having to move the ship up and down or whatever, no. I've basically been able to fly just straight and true the whole fucking game, let alone just this level. So now I've got to try and get around here and no, right. Here, like the arcade version, it doesn't tell you, you know, if it's a left turn or a right turn or whatever. So you've just got to keep going and hope for the best. Oh, I actually have to start moving down. Except you moved so far down and now up again, and fucking yeah. So, fucking, I don't believe this, I've made it level 4. I just wanted this to be a quick go. Well, okay, seeing as it's forcing me pretty much to go through, well, 4 levels. Again, it's playing the wrong fucking piece of music, which it seems to do in most levels. This is the tune Try Z, which is played during level 5. You can see you absolutely race through this level because there's hardly any graphics being rendered. It's just, again, fucking stripes on the ground, and that is it. Well, let's get on with the review then. The graphics are a fucking hideous mess, and when you consider that this game, you know, even the arcade coin-op, and even though I'm a fan of the arcade coin-op, the game was all about looking at how great the fucking graphics are. So the graphics, yeah, a fucking hideous mess. You can't see what the fuck anything is. And, you know, trying to aim at anything, yeah, forget it. The audio, well, it does at least have music and sound effects together, which is, I'd say, almost unheard of. I mean, how many games have I done now where I've been complaining about that, and yet only now are we actually getting it. I don't fucking believe this. I've got all the way to level fucking 5. So yeah, the audio, it's absolute shite renditions of the arcade music, but at least there are sound effects, or what passes for sound effects, in the game as well. So that's about the only positive I can say about this game. It has music and sound effects. It's one of the few games where they actually fucking bothered to do that. So, right, I've covered graphics, covered audio, and the gameplay, well, there fucking isn't any. It's not until the end of level 4 that I actually needed to move my ship either up or down. Fucking hell. So, I mean, the gameplay is staggeringly boring. And it plays next to fuck all like the coin-op. And you know, it just yet again shows that the whole idea of converting Sega Y-Board games to any computer is just a fucking waste of time. I mean, this is the Amiga, probably the best system that any of these games were ever going to be converted to. And yet, this is the best they could do. Oh, fuck off. And again, it's using the argument I always make, that the publishers of Activision should have summoned these fucking cunts who created this fucking abomination and said to them, is this really the best you could do? And if they said no, Right, well throw it in their fucking face, tell them to fuck off and do it again, only this time put some fucking effort into it. And if they say yes, it's the best they could do, then you fucking sack them, because clearly their best is nothing but absolute shit. And then what you do is sack the cunt who first came up with the idea of converting this game to any computer. What a fucking waste of time. Every single one of the conversions was utter shit. And this is the best one, and this gets 0 out of 10. Actually, no, I'll be generous. It gets 1 out of 10 because it actually has music and sound effects at the being played together, which is so fucking rare for some ridiculous fucking reason that I do not know. That it means this game gets voted up for actually doing that and that. So there you go, Galaxy Force for the Commodore Amiga, 1 out of 10. What a fucking piece of shit. But to be honest, if you didn't think it was going to be anything, if you thought it was going to be anything other than utter fucking shite, then there must be something fucking wrong with ya. So, well, there you go. That's enough of that shit. I can't believe I admitted to buying this fucking thing, even if it was only for a £5. So that brings this review mercifully to an end, and we'll see you at the next one.